بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا ومولانا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد وآله. It's Ramadan, 1445. This is day 16 and 17 of Ramadan with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. We won Badr. Allahu Akbar. No, we didn't. God won Badr for us. This is the attitude of the people of God. They attribute the good to Him and exalt Him above all evil. الخير كله بيديك والشر ليس إليك. Ramadan is like a lifetime because through it we relive the seasons of faith. We begin the month in struggle, acclimating to the fast. We begin a new moon, dark, becoming light. This is symbolic of the hijrah to Medina, as if leaving the ego behind and setting out on a journey to a new home. But it isn't easy because it requires change from physical to spiritual. The crescent gradually grows until it reaches fullness. At Badr, a victory of the spiritual over the physical. God sends angels to overcome the soldiers of evil, as if every physical good deed transforms into a spiritual reality. Angels become soldiers, devils become defeated. Struggle to determination. Hijrah to Badr, new moon to full moon, a season of faith. What comes next? The cycle turns. The hijrah was away from Mecca, away from the oppression of the ego, away from misguidance and sin. المسلم من سلم المسلمون من لسانه ويده والمهاجر من هجر ما نهى الله عنه. حديث الصحيحين عن عبد الله بن عمرو رضي الله عنهما. But on the 21st of Ramadan, the companions would return to Mecca triumphant for an even greater victory. فتح مكة. اللهم افتح علينا فتوح العارفين. This time, the spiritual building in Medina transformed into a physical reality. The idols were demolished, and Sayyiduna Bilal radiallahu anhu climbed to the top of the Kaaba to proclaim the adhan. Determination to culmination. Badr to Fath, full moon to waning gibbous, a season of faith. What comes next? Laylatul-qadr, a night greater than 1,000 months, the night of the Qur'an's descent from the highest heaven to the earthly firmament, a union of the earthly and celestial realms, convergent in Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Culmination to annihilation. Fath to Qadr, waning gibbous to waning crescent, a season of faith. What's next? Eid, a new moon, annihilation to celebration, a new beginning, a renewed heart, a receptive soul, the infinite expanse of the sir. How we end Ramadan, upon what station, is based on our consistency through the seasons of faith. As-Sufiyu ibn waqtihi. The Sufi is born of his moment. What does it mean? It means centering our lives around God and bringing the Sunnah into our orbit and living through the seasons of faith. This is why the mashayikh of our way put great emphasis on Ihya al-Mawasim. Commemoration of these great events teaches us how to set our life priorities straight. The fiqh of change, fiqh al-tahawulat, is a great repository of knowledge that guides our decisions in the end times. Before the hijrah, what mattered the most? Even more than one's ethnic tribal ties? Even more than one's homeland? It was tawheed. The hijrah was a victory from fitrah to faith. All verses in the Qur'an related to the hijrah are part of the Ibrahimi address, the ummah of acceptance. But their response to the call was so much greater than ours. God be pleased with the Sahaba. After the hijrah, what mattered most? Even more than blood ties? Even more than material possessions? Even more than oneself? It was Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. The Muhajirin and Ansar, who were strangers, became spiritual kin, bound by the love of him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It is the spirit of our Prophet that unites us, and any disunity among us is a deficiency in His love. Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. The Muhajirun had already proved their loyalty. Badr was the hand of the Hijrah coupled with the hand of the helpers, a miraculous alliance of angels and saints. What mattered most? The unity of the Ummah. Badr was a victory from faith to family. All verses in the Quran related to the victory at Badr are part of the Muhammadan address, the Ummah of Mahabbah, a miracle of love. After Badr, what mattered most? How did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam re-enter his homeland? He entered with the victory of the Spirit, a light so bright that would shine for centuries, that no nation, no army, no devil, no one could extinguish. The opening of Mecca was a victory from family back to fitrah. But this time, a higher ground, a refined nature, a prophetic reality. The ummah of da'wah that lived on to us and through us. All verses in the Quran related to the victory at Mecca are part of the Adamic prophetic address. What comes next? Laylatul-qadr, annihilation to celebration, Eid. Ramadan is like a lifetime. Laylatul-qadr khayrun min alfi shahr. Laylatul-qadr is greater than 1,000 months. Suluk, spiritual practice, is not what you do. It is what you do that becomes a part of you. It is the Adamic human that is elevated through the Quranic addresses to the Adamic prophetic. Our journey through the Quranic addresses is directly related to our journey through ourselves, and the Quran will only speak to the station we have attained in our own suluk. Did Ramadan come to teach us to sympathize with the poor, or teach us that we are so poor in the divine presence? يا أيها الناس أنتم الفقراء إلى الله والله هو الغني الحميد. O people, it is you who are desperately in need of God, while He is the self-sufficient, worthy of all praise. Not so incidentally, this is verse 15 of Surah Fatir. If we don't know what matters most, we don't know ourselves. If we don't know what matters most, we don't know our faith. If we don't know what matters most, we don't know our family. This Ramadan, ask yourself, what matters most? Because Ramadan is a lifetime, and so, after Eid, let's be ready to live it. Allahumma ameen. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآله والحمد لله رب العالمين.